Hey everyone, I am back. It's been a very long time. I guess we kind of like hibernated over the winter. But I just wanted to make a video because it's been a very long time, and I just wanted to let you know how living in a tiny home has been going for me and Sean and our little dog Bella, aka Moo. If you saw the documentary, if you haven't, I'll put the link down below. It's pretty fantastic. It took us a really long time to set up the tiny house. Since we're living off the grid, we've never done this before. We kind of struggled a lot. So we had to set up the solar panels, trying to figure out a base to put the panels on, and then putting the panels on it and then cooking it up and making sure that it's all correct. That was a process. So for a while we were just using a generator for power. We had to set up a water system. We decided to go with a rain barrel collection. We have 2 rain barrels which holds about 100 gallons each. So we've got 2 of those. We have about 200 gallons, somewhere around there. But we can't get all the water out of the barrels because the hookups are a little bit higher, so we're actually never using the bottom portion of the barrel. So it's probably less than 200. So it's been interesting, and right now it's super dry when normally it's really wet. So we've been having to cart back water from our landowner's well. Sean's been doing that, and I'm so thankful he has, because those buckets of water are not light. That's been fun, and we've had issues with the water pump. Like right now even, there's something wrong with it. We took it in to get it fixed because they found out it was a sensor was got messed up, so they had to fix it, but now it's doing the same thing, so I'm assuming it's the same issue, so we just need to take it back in. Basically what's happening with our water pump, it's just constantly on. I guess the sensor can't tell if we're turning the water on. It's supposed to, the pump turns on when we turn the faucet on. The pump thinks that we want it on all the time, and so it can't tell. So what we've been doing is using our fuse box, and we've just been turning off and turning on the water pump every time we need to use water, which is kind of annoying, obviously. So that's kind of the last piece that we're still kind of struggling with right now, but everything else has been good. I take that back. We have also a mold, condensation, humidity problem that we've been struggling with. So underneath the cabinets, which happen to be right where the wheel wells are, we've been getting a lot of condensation just because of how cold it is. And I think that there's also some cracks. So what we just did, I think about a week or 2 ago, Sean filled in the cracks with some, what's that stuff called? Caulking. He filled it all in, so I haven't checked it yet, but I think that's helping a lot. We've also been trying to turn on our bathroom fan to get some of the humidity out, and that seems to be working, but it just as soon as we turn it off and a couple hours go by, the humidity just goes right back up. So we're trying to figure that out. We also bought those little dehumidifier balls, things that you can put in your closet. They're made for RVs, so we put those underneath and they're not really working. And I think it's because it's a different type of moisture issue. I think down underneath the cabinets where the wheel wells are, it's not necessarily humidity, but it's more of condensation. Yeah, and that's really something we need to stay on top of, because mold obviously is not healthy, and we're in a tiny house, so we're just breathing in all this stuff. So we really need to get that under control, and since we're living off the grid and we don't have that much power, we decided not to get a dehumidifier, but I think we're gonna need one. And also just the area that we live in is super humid. It's 100% humidity outside most of the time. So if we open up the windows, it's just the humidity is just coming right back in. Yeah, I think a dehumidifier would really work. So what else has been going on? It's just kind of getting into the flow of living off the grid. There's so many like factors that you have to take into account. You've taken to account our batteries, our power situation. Are we getting enough solar during the day? Is our batteries charging fully? And so something about like batteries, they have a memory. So if you keep them too low, it's not good. It'll like always go back to that space. So it's really important to always charge the batteries all the way up as full as you can. The solar company that is close to town that we went into to kind of get some information, we needed some cables, extension cables for the solar panels. So they were telling us that it's like really important to charge it past being full. So like another 20 minutes after the meter already says the batteries are full basically. So we also need to take into account propane. So we use propane for our heater, we use it for our stove, and we also use it for our hot water. In the summertime, when it starts getting warm, we're gonna be using a lot less of all these things, so it'll be really great. We're already starting to see some of the benefits right now. We've been doing a little bit of experimenting, but we've been not turning on the generator at night, and it's been working. So we have enough power to sustain us until the morning, and luckily in the mornings it's been pretty sunny, so as soon as the day started, we're already collecting a lot of solar, and it's charging our batteries all the way up. So it's been fantastic. We've had 2 tanks for the longest time, so we have a 30-pound tank as well as a 20-pound tank. And a little bit ago, we weren't keeping track of propane levels. We ran out of propane, so we had to go, and it was like in the evening too, so everything was closed. So we had to go down to the grocery store, and we bought one of those propane tanks that they have there that you can just swap. So now we have 3 propane tanks. Again, now that it's springtime, we've been using a lot less propane. Normally one of those, the big 30-pound tank, would last us about a week, 7 days. And now I think we used it and it lasted us 11 days. So the smaller ones used to last us only about 3 or 4 days. So we're hoping now that'll last us about like 7 days. So things are getting better. So all these little things that we have to think of. We have to think about our power, our batteries. We have to think about propane, and we have to think about water. So we just need to make sure that we don't run out of water as well. So our goal is to move our house a little bit closer to where our landowners live, and it's the first spot that we wanted to move our house to, but we couldn't get it there because the road is too steep. We need to reach out to some like mobile home movers to see if they can help us, see if we can get creative and see if we can get our house over there, because then we would be a lot closer to the well, and if we really need to, we could run a hose. Our plan is we want to upgrade our water system instead of just the 2 rain barrels right now that's barely lasting us. We want to be able to live sustainably off of the rainwater collection. So if we're able to get a larger tank, because we have a composting toilet and we don't have a water flush toilet, then we would use a lot less water than the typical household does. So we did also have some problems with the water line freezing, and I think we figured it out. We insulated all the fixtures and all the hoses that are coming out of the rain barrel. That fixed that issue. So there's a lot of things that we were trying to figure out during this whole process, and now that it's springtime, we're very excited. Things should become a lot less maintenance, like the house in particular. So we won't need to worry too much about the propane. It won't run out as quickly as it has been. As well as like the generator, we don't really need to run that frequently, so we don't need to worry about if we have enough gas in the generator. So that's been something that we've been doing on a daily basis. During the winter time, we had to turn on the generator every day, basically. So we also had to take into account gas. So we have about 2 gas, like little tank things that, those plastic ones that you get. So we have 2 of them. We have a big one and a small one. We just always need to fill the generator pretty much every day or every other day, just because we were running the generator for so long because we didn't get that much solar most of the time during the winter. But then always making sure that we have enough gas on hand. We needed to take into account on a daily basis if we had enough resources to maintain our house. So that's something that you don't normally think about. So when you're living in like a traditional home, you don't really have to think about if you're getting enough power, if you have enough water, if you have enough gas. Things just kind of happen on demand. And so that's why you pay those premiums, because you have that, and the city provides all those resources to you. Because we're trying to be off the grid and we want to be more sustainable, then this is the trade-off basically. Alright, thank you guys so much for watching, and go ahead and give this video a like if you liked it, and subscribe if you want to follow us. Alright, see you guys in the next video. Bye.